What's up, guys? Cody here. It's been a while since I posted a video on YouTube. It's actually been a while since I've streamed. That's because I've been having quite a bit of computer issues. But yeah, while I haven't been streaming or posting videos, I have been playing a lot of League. Mostly TFT just because I've got friends that like playing that, and to be honest, I haven't played a ton of TFT compared to what my rank is. For those of you that don't know, I'm actually Diamond 3 right now in TFT. And that's without me trying at all. So I kind of know what's in this patch. I know that there's the new item, the sparring glove, which will add in all the other items. I know they're adding Kai'Sa. But aside from that, I really don't know what's in this. So just gonna go and look over it. So Kai'Sa, new champion. Void Ranger, Assassin. I do know that Void is getting nerfed. I know that much. So, yeah. So Kai'Sa gets her ult. She dashes to the furthest enemy unit, gaining a 300, 600, 900 health shield, gaining 30, 60, 90% attack speed for 3 seconds. I think she's gonna be really good just because she's a ranger, regardless of the fact that she's a void. I think her being a void is really good. I think having a void ranger provides some really interesting comps where you can splash a couple things. But like with the void, she'll deal true damage, and with rangers, she'll just shred everything. You put her in 4 rangers, she'll just shred. The shield, I don't know how long it's gonna take her to actually build up that starting mana, to build up that mana. But 300 health shield effectively means that she has 1,000 health. And the attack speed is really nice. And if you can make a level 2 version of her, then that's pretty insane. So I think she'll be pretty good. It's nice to have other legendary units. So okay, Sparring Glove. So it gives 10% crit chance and 10% dodge chance. And when you build an offensive item, it gets just the full 20% crit, and if it's a defensive, it's a 20% dodge. And then the Thief's Gloves and Middens get both. So they're redoing Infinity Edge to build out of Sparring Gloves. Infinity Edge will now give 20% crit chance instead of the E. Well, I guess in addition. Or is that, does the BF sword add into that? Don't know. Anyways, the crit chance is really nice for IE because every unit in the game has 20% crit chance. So when you build IE on something, it's really only getting used 25% of the time. Unless you put a Sword of Divine on there, but I know Sword of Divine is not. And even then, Sword of Divine was RNG. So having this is super nice. So if you put this on somebody, they're going to get a 45% total crit chance. So they're critting almost every other auto. So that makes IE a lot better. I don't know if that crit damage is down from what it was. I can't remember if they buffed it or not. Whatever. So overall good. Repeating crossbow, sparring gloves plus recurve bow. On death, it jumps to an allied champion and grants an additional 20% attack speed and critical strike chance. I don't know how good this is going to be. From what I've been seeing on the PvE, people have been putting it on like tanks. Then it jumps to, and then they hope it jumps to a backline. I guess even if it jumps to a tank, it will still end up finding its way to a backline, but probably a really good item. Because it'll give dodge. No, it'll give crit chance. Right. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I would rather just have a different item just on my carries to begin with. But a jeweled gauntlet. Your spells can crit. That is useless. Spells being able to crit is pretty bad, unless maybe if you put it on like a pike or something that like doesn't have like a ton of burst damage. I feel like you're never making this item. This item is trash. Yeah, there's almost like no reason to ever build this item over any other actual mage item if you're building a sorcerer comp. Hand of Justice, Sparring Gloves plus Tear of the Goddess. On round start, gain either 40% more damage or 40 life on. The 40% more damage is really nice when you remember that Sparring Gloves is also giving you extra crit chance. But then you should just be getting IE instead. 4% more damage could also be useful for a mage. Then again, mages already deal enough damage. 40 life on hit. I don't know. I feel like this is something that would be like maybe decent on. I don't know. If you've got rune hands with this, I don't know. I wouldn't build this item. Iceborne Gauntlet, Sparring Gloves with Chain Vest. On dodge, create an expendable zone that lowers attack speed by 35%. Situational. Really, it's like it is better than a Frozen Heart, and you would put essentially you would put this on your copy. With Yordle buff. Or I guess I know that they have the middens that make summon the Yordle, so you put it on a frontline Yordle. I don't know how big the zone is. I'm assuming it would be 2 spots away from you, 2 tiles away from you, but it doesn't. So if it's only 1 spot away from you, it's pretty bad. And if it's 2 spots away, then that's still pretty bad because someone can just put their backline, the back row and the front line in the very front row. So I don't know. I'd have to see this in action. Maybe this would be good against assassins, but I don't know. USS, Strong Gloves plus Negatron Cloak. When CC, cleanse the CC, 5-second cooldown. Super good item. Gives dodge chance. If someone's running like Glacial and they're being really annoying, then I guess this is really good. I wonder if it cleanses knockups from Cho'Gath and Rek'Sai. Be interesting to see because technically you can't cleanse those in League. So okay. Crop Claw, Sparring Gloves with Giant's Build. On combat, begin with a spell shield. When it breaks, stun the champion who broke the shield. I think this is really good. There's gonna be so many things that break this. So I think this is super good. The dodge chance might not be all that useful. Maybe you put this on like your off tank. I don't know. The dodge chance seems pretty pathetic on a tank because you don't really give a shit if it dodges an auto or two. Oh, actually, I just thought of the Iceborne Gauntlet could be really good on a Shen actually, because everything is because he automatically dodges everything. So that might be really good now that I think about it. You would lose some stats from it. The Sparring Gloves would end up being used. Okay. Thief's Glove. This is an interesting item. Sparring Gloves for Sparring Gloves. This item takes all 3 item slots. On round begin, copy 2 random items. So, did they change this? Because when it originally came out in the PvE, it gave the unit 2 random items. This is copy 2. I'm confused on the wording, but if it works how it did when it originally came out, it's supposed to give 2 random. In general, this is hit or miss. If you end up with 2 Sparring Gloves and want to make a Thief's Gloves, I guess you could put it on. You wouldn't want to put it on like your carry. So anything that could be like a secondary carry could be really useful with Thief's Gloves. Because you don't necessarily care if that thing gets like tank stats or not, or something like that. So, and then I guess technically this could also be useful on a frontline. Um, but overall, like you give something two random items. So I think putting this on like an off your like secondary carry would be good. Okay, middens, spatula plus glove. You make someone a yordle. Meh. I guess it's good. Honestly, yordle's kind of overrated. In my opinion, just because I see so many people running sorcerers. That's just me though. I guess I don't know how many. Like it's just there's always somebody running the sorcerers or the just some like there's somebody that always splashes like three sorcerers and it's ends up being a pretty big issue. So and Yordos can't dodge that. So I guess it could be useful for getting 6 Yordles, but even then, it's something that you wouldn't really see that often. Deathblade. BF Sword plus BF Sword. On kill or assist gain an additional 15 attack damage until the end of combat. I think this could be really, really good on just because she attacks everything already. From Gunslinger bonus. You would have to decide whether you actually want this over a different item. So, eh. I think this is probably a really good item, especially once you hit the game. But you would struggle against a sorcerer. I think just in general you would struggle against just everyone struggles against sorcerer comps late game if the sorcerer comp is built up enough. Just because the sorcerer comp doesn't give a shit about you stacking, they just one shot you. I guess if you would to put on Dragon's Claw on the carry as well, this would be a pretty good item. Giant Slayer, BS Sword plus recurve bow, attacks deal an additional 5% enemy max health as true damage. Free vein passive, probably really good. Helps you shred through the front line faster, and if your opponent doesn't have a front line, then they just lose. So probably really good, and I'd like to see how OP this is on a vein. Player damage adjustments. With the loot changes, we've noticed a slight acceleration in game speed, leading to players going out much quicker than we intended. So we're lowering player damage slightly. So damage is down. Essentially, damage is down by 1 early on. Okay. Mystery box adjustments. Has been a positive addition to the game, but needs some fine tuning. Common boxes average gold value decrease. That's a big deal. Uncommon box average gold value decreased very slightly. Is still a big deal. Slightly lowered the odds of gold boxes showing up. That's a pretty big deal. There's rounds sometimes where I literally get like 20 gold from the boxes. So that's a it's like it's all very slight stuff, but it's a pretty big deal. Like the common boxes average gold value decreased. With this, you would be able to like if you were to get a common gold box on the first round, you could then just buy out the shop without having to worry about having to sell anything. With this, I'm assuming the gold value is down by 1, because the gold value was only like 3 or 4 before. So we'd have to then actually give up something on the second round of buying. But it's gonna suck if you get a common gold box on like Krugs, Wolves, or Raptors. So I don't really like that change. The other stuff, I guess I like having extra gold. Tier 4 units can no longer drop from uncommon. Thank you. This is so annoying that sometimes that there was like a 1% chance that they would give you a freaking 4 cost unit, and it'd be like, oh, hey, that person has like Draven Imperial bonus at the very beginning of the game. Like, no, that's not fair. You know, like you can't. No one's gonna be able to get that until so much later. So I like that. Slightly increase the odds of Nico's help dropping from all boxes. I appreciate that. I like almost never get Nico's help in the games that I've played. I might have played like 30 games of TFT this patch. Probably not. Probably more like 25. If that. I don't know. I think I got Nico's help 3 times in all those games. And there's some other people that get it that have like a bajillion of them. So I like that. So yeah, okay. Dragon. Due to how easy it is to get magic resist and the lack of options on how to play around it, we're lowering the strength of Dragon and Dragon's Claw. Sure. I mean, you could also just buff other things, but I guess. Glacial procs are a little too powerful, so I'm making a similar consistency change that we did to Swordbreaker, implying it. Stun duration is 1.5 seconds. I like that. Glacial stun chance is down. Wait. No, it's up. So the stun chance is up, but the duration is down. Don't think they needed to increase chance. But for the most part, people aren't ever going for glacials anyways. The only time you ever see someone go full glacials is if they have like glacial elementalists. For the most part, it's just the only time. For the most part, is somebody that has 2 glacials, or if they could get a frozen mountain, maybe they'll have 4. But for the most part, it's someone that has everyone that ever has glacial just has Sejuani Nash. Okay. With the addition to Kaiser, we want to lower the power of the early void. However, we still want to open up more build options and reward those who fully commit to the void. So it works like Imperial now. I agree with this change. It was kind of easy to get the 3 void early, and it made a big deal. This provides an element of randomness, which void players aren't really going to like. Because obviously, if this goes on, like if you put like a level 1 Kassadin, or I guess we'll use an example of Cho'Gath and Rek'Sai. If you put a Cho'Gath and Rek'Sai, and you definitely want the void buff on Cho'Gath, but yeah, this will make void, I think in general, less appealing. Where if you can get all 4 voids, then great. But if you can't, then I feel like this is gonna kind of just be like hit or miss. Anyways, it doesn't even matter. Void in general falls off anyways. Without like, it falls off unless you get like the 3 cost units, and then you get like a good comp around it. Like every time I see someone go void assassins, they almost always have a 3-star Kassadin with items stacked on him, or items stacked on somebody else. Like they're not necessarily winning because they have void; they're winning because they have void assassin. So yeah, I like this change. Void assassin was seen in like every single one of my games. Got annoying. So Yordle, we removed rapid fire cannon's ability to ignore dodges, so it now only exists on wild. Because of that, we're pulling a bit of power back of Yordle. The introduction of middens also means we're adding a new. Yeah. So removing rapid fire cannon means that there's no like 1 item that counters. And it's odd that they choose to do this. In my opinion, I guess it's good and bad. So Yordles are in general very squishy. Outside of Poppy and Gnar, they're very, very squishy. And it used to be like no one ever goes Yordles right now. Nobody really builds rapid fire cannon because no one goes Yordles. But it used to be like, oh, You have Yordles, I have Rapid Fire, so your comp is useless. Um, but you could also say the same about someone if someone has Dragon or Dragon's Claw, um, and you're playing Sorcerers, then like Dragon's Claw is a direct counter to Sorcerers. So I guess they're nerfing that, but at the same time, I don't know. It feels odd to remove that as an option. At the same, also they are nerfing it by 5% at level 1. That's nothing. That is nothing. That used to be at that before. It used to be at like 25% or something like that. They buffed it and then they nerfed it slightly and then they just put it back up again. I don't know. They keep moving it around. I would be really scared if I had to go up against somebody again with First off, somebody had 9 Yordles. That's scary as all hell. And even without that, if somebody has a Yordle, somebody has 6 Yordles and has the sparring gloves on them to make them dodge. If they have an 80% dodge chance, I do not want to play against them. And essentially they're saying that you want to counter this, go for wild. And I don't like that. I feel like it's silly. Okay, assassins. Um, is this getting changed too? 3 assassins untouched. 6 assassins, 5% less crit chance, whatever. And nobody ever had 9 assassins. You had 9 assassins, you're kind of trolling. Kind of. Like it works, but it makes it so that your opponent can easily position against it, so you would never actually want assassins. Ninja attack damage and ability power. We buffed the 4 ninjas. I guess that's good. Especially because 4 ninjas is means that you already have 3 assassins. Um, I don't know. That's something to be careful about because there was the time where ninjas was like the thing to get. Noble, we're buffing back Noble. Back to 30 heal on hit. Okay, Noble, they have to just careful. Shapeshifter bonus health is down. Sure. I guess. I don't ever, most times I never really saw people with 6 shapeshifters, but I guess it was a problem. Ranger attack speed. They really want to incentivize you having 4 rangers. Which should be easier now because there's another ranger in the game. Whatever. Like, okay, that's good that they nerfed it, so that way you have to actually commit to 4 rangers, but whatever. Okay, Anivia, underperforming. So we're changing her identity to be a strong unit that slows the attack speed of the backline. Extra 50 health, extra attack speed. Needs less mana to ult additionally. Ability targeting random. Went from random to furthest unit. That's probably good. That means that she actually works for countering, cornering people that want to corner their carries. So, that's better. And in fact, like it means that her ult should, in theory, be also hitting more people in general. But she's still really only good in comps that actually use her, like in just the glacial and elementalist, and even then, there's like comp is already set before you get into Nivea. Kassadin has proven as a problematic DPS champ who can also gain a shield and drain mana. We're shifting his identity into a frontline sorcerer and pulling out some of the damage. Damage down, attack speed down, armor up, mana, steel, and shield power up. So I actually like this. There's a lot of times where it's like, I guess I should say that I oftentimes find myself going sorcerers. Um, is because nobody else really picks them up early, and if I get them early and survive to the mid game, then I generally get first or second. And I don't really cast like Caston is not there for me to deal damage. Even if I go like Void Sorcerers, Caston is not there to deal damage. Caston is there to be a frontline unit, and he does a poor ass job of that because he wasn't designed to do that. He wasn't designed to be a primary frontline unit, and even when he's a secondary off tank, still does a shit job. And he's really only there as my anti mage. He's there to just drain mana from the front line, and yeah. So I like this. The mana seal thing is whatever. There's very fringe cases where that's actually useful, but yeah, the extra shield power very nice. Makes him a much better tank, and that's what I want in my sorcerer comp. So Misfortune. We're adjusting her to make her a powerful auto attack for gunslingers who really cast. When she does cast, it's a big one. We're buffing Misfortune. Okay, so this is very, very scary here. Okay, so we're giving her 50 extra health. We're giving her extra attack speed. We're changing it so that she needs double the mana to ult. But we're making it so that her ult does 1300 damage and now actually has proper targeting. He now targets the furthest enemy, which is something that should have been how it was at the very, very start. If she ults, she kills everything. So if MF has any mana items on her whatsoever, and slash or you pair her with a TF, instant kill. Instant. Like, there's already times where, right now, where if somebody, like, has mana items on MF, like, I just played a game where somebody gave MF enough mana to ult at the very start of the round, and MF insta-wiped my team. Because even though my team was, like, spread out, her ult still hit half of it. So if you do this, that's like such a huge buff to the point where it's very, very scary. You do not need gunslingers for him. If you do, like, you could just throw her in anything. Give her mana items and she will do her job. Against assassins, it would be a small problem because they will just instantly kill her. But give her enough mana and pair her with a TF. Yeah, she'll just shred everything. Okay. Mordekaiser. We don't want Mordekaiser ulting as much, I guess, but we're making it so that he does more. Overall, this is a buff for Mord. Well, it is a buff. Level 2 Mordekaiser does a shit ton more damage. But they just want to make sure that he doesn't get multiple ults off. In a 4 or 6 night comp, he might get 2 ults off, but in a 4 night comp, it's probably unlikely. And if it's a level 3 Mord, that's going to be hitting like a truck. Which actually means that Mord is now a lot more useful in Night Sorcerer comps. He was already kind of a staple in them because of Karthus for Phantom. But now it's a lot better. And pair this with TF, and that's a scary boy. That's getting close to the territory where Poppy is, where she's already Poppy in a sorcerer comp. Tristana spell damage up, she still sucks. Okay. Blitzcrank, extra health. He does more damage, level 1 and level 2, which is really nice. Level 1 Blitz kind of was stupid, and you had to really actually get a level 2 Blitz for him to be useful outside of the pull. Braum needs more mana to ult. That is a very, very late change. Rek'Sai attack speed down. Whatever. Rek'Sai's identity doesn't change this. With the nerf to Void, it sucks. Ashe, needs more mana. Okay. But we already nerfed Rangers, so they're nerfing things like twice. They're buffing things like twice. They're doing a direct nerf, or they're doing direct buff and an indirect buff to some things, and then they're like nerfing things, but they're also indirectly nerfing them through other ways. So that's kind of scary. Buffing Katarina, super scary, but she already insta kills everything anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Shyvana gets a nerf. Okay. Once again, we just nerfed shapeshifters and we're nerfing Shyvana. Veigar, we just introduced new items that would give Veigar dodge chance, that would give yorldes in general dodge chance, and now we're doing Veigar. Scary. Vi 50 extra health. I felt like Vi was doing okay. Especially, yeah, I felt like Vi was doing okay. But I guess not. Okay. Sure. Volley, extra health. Lower his attack damage but increases attack speed. Yes, this is so needed. I played a game where I accidentally didn't put any attack speed items on my volley bear. Just put a bunch of on-hit items. And he just put an attack for the life of him. So, extra attack speed, nice. Kali, extra that we're getting scary again. Oh, nerf for Kali, nerf for Kali, nerf for Kali, nerf for Kali. Kali broken, and then it's like, oh, Kali sucks. Okay, so buff a Kali, buff a Kali, buff a Kali. Right, decide what you want to do with this. Just personally, in my opinion, a Kali was fine. I guess not. Gnar, health down once again. Gnar, less health, less transform health by a ton, actually. And the shapeshifters got nerfed. Jinx attack speed up. That's a little scary with everything else getting nerfed. Kindred attack speed up. Thought Kindred was good. Kindred ability duration. It doesn't. I guess, that's not good, but for the most part, lasting 4 seconds was a kill. Sedge health down. Sedge stun duration down. And with glacials also lowering their stuns, then that kind of hurts. Once again, we're so many nerfs to things. Swain nerfed, and even though he's a shapeshifter. Yasuo extra health. Okay. Dragon's Claw, right, so Dragon's Claw, Frozen Heart is now a 35% attack speed slow. Why would I ever use Frozen Heart over... Like, why would I ever use the dodge item over this? Like, the dodge item has got to be 2 tiles. If it's not 2 tiles, then that's silly. Infinity Edge. Okay, so they did lower this back down to 150 because of the increased crit chance. Okay, rapid fire cannon, your attacks, right, okay. Okay, Titanic Hydra, this is different. 10% max health and a splash is now 3% max health to target and adjacent enemies behind. Is that not the same thing? I'm confused as to what this changed. Is that just a nerf to Titanic? The wording makes it so I don't understand. Zephyr now is a unique item. Whatever. Zephyr... It didn't matter that you could stack it. Because generally you have 2 or 3 other tanks you can put it on, or even putting it on someone in your backline is terrible. Whatever. Zephyr was just something that you put on somebody, just be like, oh, here's stats, I guess, and I want the Zephyr buff. Gameplay calling now proper move speed. Ranger's focus now properly grants 100% attack speed. Ranger's focus can no longer stack on itself. Thank God. I didn't even know that was a thing, but matchmaking is less streaky. Shyvana's ability tooltip no longer says she prevents healing. At least Spiralings now have the correct stats. The range of Lucian's ability will always equal his attack range. Thank you! That's annoying sometimes. Love how this person goes, what do you mean matchmaking is going to be less streaky? Yeah, that doesn't really explain much. Interesting patch. A lot of things got nerfed. These gloves is really annoying, to be honest. Or not these gloves. Sparring gloves. It's gonna be really annoying. Yordle is probably gonna be strong, unless someone's going dragon or not dragon, sorcerers. In which case, then it's gonna mean absolutely nothing unless you also have a bunch of dragon claws. Overall, it'd probably just be going. If I had to make a guess as to what's gonna be good, Knights didn't get touched. In fact, Mordekaiser got buffed. And well, Sedge got nerfed, but Night Rangers is hurt, but Night Sorcerers is good. Anything with Sorcerers is good. And Yordles also has Sorcerers. It's much easier to get 6 Yordles now. So I hope people end up trying to go for wilds. But you're not even incentivized to go for wilds now because 2 of the wilds in the game are shapeshifters. And that got nerfed. So, like, Gnar got nerfed a lot. And Shapeshifter itself got nerfed. So why would I want to play 4 wilds? The only point of playing 4 wilds would be to give Rengar the ability to hit Yordles. Only reason. Yeah, I think Sorcerer is probably going to be the best thing that you can go. Night Sorcerers are just anything that's like 6 Sorcerers or Yordle Sorcerers. Sorcerers is probably the best thing. Maybe Gunslingers, maybe like with the Jinx buffs, that'll be. I'll be wrong about that, and actually Jinx will actually be really useful. But Jinx can't hit Yordles, no, can she? Okay. Yeah. That's my thoughts on this.